Hello once more, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Back here doing my Week 9 NFL prediction videos back here on this Tuesday. As after last week going 5-2, after a few weeks of 4-3, my record improves to 34-22 on the year. So 12 over 500 mark going into week number 9 this week. 7 new matchups on the docket this week, including a playoff rematch from the last couple seasons and the divisional round from the NFC rematch from last year coming up, plus some games this week with some surprise teams in the NFL. So with that being said, let's get started with the Week 9 NFL prediction videos right here, right now. So I reset some stuff here, set some stuff up here, sorry about that. Here we go with our Week 9 NFL prediction videos. First matchup, Chargers and Falcons. In this first matchup here, looking at this matchup here, it's an interesting matchup to look at. Falcons are in first place in the NFC South. Chargers are second place in the AFC West, right behind the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes at 5-3. At 5-3 at this moment through their first 8 games. Now this matchup, Falcons 4-4, 500 team. You have the Buccaneers who've lost 3 in a row, but the Falcons, Marcus Mariota, since being the starting quarterback this year, has led the Falcons pretty good, 4-4 so far. Chargers coming in, a team I think that should be a wild card team at the end of the year. At this point in time, going into Week 9, the halfway point of the regular season. After this week, we'll be halfway through the season with 9 weeks left, and a lot of good matchups to watch the second half of the season as well. This matchup to me looks like a Falcons and Chargers team. I like Justin Herbert as for the Chargers, and the Falcons 4-4. I think that if the Falcons can keep it up and win about half of their games the rest of the year, I think the Falcons will go pretty good. Might have a chance to win a division. I'd say right now have maybe a 30 to 50% chance to win their division. Very slim indeed with the numbers, between 30 and 50% to win their division, I think, at the moment. I still think Tampa Bay is the team in the NFC South to win the division, though. But the Chargers, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, I think the Chargers are a pretty better team than Atlanta. And I'm going to take the Chargers this week because Justin Herbert going into Atlanta, I think Justin Herbert will give the Falcons some fits, and I don't know how good the Falcons are going to be. But I like Justin Herbert because he has a lot of weapons around him that he can use on offense and defense. So I'm going to take the Chargers in this week's matchup for week number 9 to start us off. Moving on to our next matchup in Buffalo. No, technically we're going to New York. We're going to New Jersey, East Rutherford, New Jersey, playing the Bills. We're 7-1, and the Jets, who were 5-2 going in to their matchup here coming up in week 9. Now this is a game for the Bills, for Josh Allen and the Bills against the Jets, who are 5-2. I see this as sort of a game for the Bills, as a game that they might have some issues with on the road. A first true test against a team that might be a wildcard team in the Jets this year. Surprise, surprise, I didn't expect the Jets to be here as a wildcard team at this point. Neither did I expect the Chargers, but the Jets have played good football, so did the Bills. Bills are the best team. They beat the Packers over the weekend on Sunday night. Got to win, but the Jets, Zach Wilson has weapons around him. They did just trade one of their running backs, though. They did trade for a running back in James Robinson from the Jaguars. The Jets, I think, have a chance to win this game potentially, but I think it's going to come down to who has the ball last in this matchup. And with that being said, I'm going to go with the upset this week. I'm going to take the Jets over the Bills with the upset. Zach Wilson and the Jets upsetting the Bills at home in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So I'm taking the Jets this week's matchup. Moving on to the Washington Commanders and the Vikings coming in. Vikings today at the trade deadline traded for T.J. Hawkinson at tight end. I saw it today, but the Vikings first place team in the NFC North. They're basically Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. They're running away with this division this year, and I've loved every second of watching the Vikings so far this year, seeing what they're doing and exploring Aaron Rodgers' season with Green Bay. I like seeing what the Vikings have done, and I think the Vikings and Washington Commanders, I think this is going to be an automatic win for the Vikings coming up on Sunday. And that's why I have to believe, because the Washington Commanders, their starting quarterback, Carson Wentz, is out. They do have Taylor Heineke starting the game. this week. I'm sure, again, I believe, but you never know. You can never keep the Vikings out of it. Vikings looks like they're going to win the division for the second time in the last 5 years or something like that. And I like the Vikings this week to continue their amazing run in the NFC North by beating Washington on the road. So, taking two road teams so far in the first 3 matchups we predicted. Moving on to the next matchup in Arizona. And this next matchup in Arizona between the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray, and next in the Seattle Seahawks, who are the first place team in the NFC West. The NFC West this year has been a surprising division. Everyone expected the Rams, the defending champions, the 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals to compete for the division. Instead, the Seattle Seahawks have taken this division by surprise by going 5-3 so far this year. If you look at the Seahawks, they're a pretty good team this year, and I think the Seahawks are showing off a bit by proving, after trading Russell Wilson to Denver, we can win with our backup quarterback from last year, Geno Smith, and go on a rampage and win the division. This Seahawks team is very scary to see. I think Arizona and Kyler Murray are going to have to get some help playing at home. If this was a road game for Arizona, I'd say they'd lose. But I think Arizona still has a chance in this matchup. But I like Seattle a bit more, only because Geno Smith is played good as a starting quarterback. He's led the Seahawks. He's taken over Russell Wilson's job. Leading a division so far at 5-3. I like the Seahawks in this matchup to get the win on Sunday. That being said, moving on to Tampa Bay. Interesting matchup here. 2 teams that are under 500, of course, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3-5, and the LA Rams at 3-4 after losing to San Francisco. The Rams got swept by the 49ers over the weekend for the second time this year and lost. But you can talk about the Buccaneers as well as a division team that looks like they're going to win a division title this year. Buccaneers, Rams. These 2 teams are supposed to be the favorite in their division, respectively, in the NFC West and NFC South. I think Tom Brady and the Buccaneers need to get over what's going on in personal lives with Tom Brady. Their offensive line for the Buccaneers, though, has not been there. They're missing 2 stars on offense. A line that are done for a while, at least most of the season potentially, I think. I'll have to double-check that. But the Rams, on the other hand, they lost multiple players from their Super Bowl championship team. They upgraded linebacker with Bobby Wagner, bringing him in from Seattle. But the Rams have not showed why they're a good team to win a division this year. And you look at this matchup and think, okay, is it something that's going on with both teams? What's going on? Buccaneers' offensive line needs help. And the Rams, they need some help too on offensive line, I believe, as well, for Matthew Stafford. And it's like reality is kicked in. Matthew Stafford's gone back to his playing days in Detroit where he didn't play well. And now the Rams aren't playing well either for him. So, but Tom Brady, this is his worst start in his 23 years at 3-5. Losing 3 in a row. But you can never count Tampa Bay. And I think that's why Tampa Bay is going to win, because I'm not counting them out this week. I think they can make a comeback this year and really impact the division. Maybe get a wild card if Atlanta falls apart. Maybe win the division if Atlanta falls apart, but possibly a wild card at this moment for Tampa. Surprise, surprise. I did think they were going to be a 1, 2, or 3 seed, just like Green Bay. I did think Green Bay, LA, and also Tampa would be 1, 2, and 3 seed automatically for either one, just like the AFC. You can put the 1, 2, and 3 seed the same. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with these 2 teams the rest of the way. But Tampa Bay is my pick for Sunday. Moving on to our Sunday Night Football. Yeah, Sunday Night Football coming up in Kansas City. Off the bye week, Mahomes and the Chiefs, 5-2. Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. Or I guess Malik Willis, who started last week. I don't know if what's going on with Ryan Tannehill, but the Titans are 5-2 as well. Both teams coming at 5-2. This is a rematch of the AFC title game from the year the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes won Super Bowl 54. Everyone knows how that matchup ended. Every game in the postseason, the Chiefs fell apart early on and bounced back and won every game. I think they came back in that AFC title game against Tennessee from down 17, I believe, but I forget at the moment. I'm talking about this matchup overall. Kansas City's a really good team. So is Tampa Bay. So is Tennessee. I like this matchup. Kansas City's a good team. Tennessee's a good team. I think if Ryan Tannehill's not starting on the road and they go over to Malik Willis this week to start in Kansas City against Mahomes and the Chiefs, I give Kansas City the win automatically. Because as a Chiefs fan, you never can count. You can never show up a bit. You don't want what happened with the Bills and Kansas City to happen with the Titans as well. But I'm taking Kansas City this matchup at home for Sunday night. Moving on to our Monday night game between the first place Baltimore Ravens 5-3 going into New Orleans to play the Saints. Yeah, Jameis Winston, the Saints, and the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, the first place team against a team that's at the bottom, is middle of the pack. Carolina is the worst in the NFC South this year, but New Orleans, you could put them right there with Tampa Bay, saying they're in the same level for once. But Baltimore, the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson, this is a team that should be contending for a Super Bowl this year. And they should have. Lamar Jackson's been a great quarterback since he got drafted. He should have been a Super Bowl contender every year, just hasn't gotten to the promised land yet. Is this the year? We'll have to wait and find out. I think the Ravens are doing good. They can make it a year for him to find out to win a Super Bowl, but I think the Saints going on the road to New Orleans, loud stadium. Saints, I think, are going to have their fans show up in full force. But I do like the Ravens in this matchup going on the road with Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson, he always figures out ways to get wins on the road in hostile environments. So I'm going with the Baltimore here in week number 9. That being said, it's time to recap my week 9 predictions. First of all, I'm starting with Justin Herbert and go over to Falcons and Marcus Mariota. I'm taking the Chargers. The matchup in Buffalo in New York between the Jets and Bills. I'm taking Zach Wilson, the Jets, to upset Josh Allen and the Bills. In Washington with the Commanders and Vikings, I'm taking the Vikings and Kirk Cousins over Taylor Heineke and the Commanders. In Arizona, I'm taking the Geno Smith and the Seahawks over Kyler Murray. Seahawks stay in first place. Down in Tampa, we're at the Buccaneers and Rams. I'm taking the 3-5 Buccaneers over the 3-4 Rams. Tom Brady gets his 4th win. All's calm and said for a week at least for the Buccaneers. And I think they make a run for a playoff spot this year. On Sunday night in Kansas City, I'm taking the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes over the Titans, depending who starts at quarterback. If Mahomes starts in quarterback for the Chiefs and the Titans start Malik Willis, you can tell it's going to be a Kansas City victory for sure. In Baltimore and New Orleans, I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens over the Saints and Jameis Winston and their bunch, because I think the Ravens are the first place team in the AFC North, have a pretty good team going into week number 9. With that being said, please comment below who you think is going to win your favorite team's game this week, and also comment below who you think is going to win the matchups I have as well. With that being said, hope everyone enjoyed. And if you did like today's video, please remember to watch, like, subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends to do the same if they're not done so yet already. And please also hit that notification button below so you know when I upload a new video. With that being said, have a nice day, stay safe. I'll see you right back here for my week number 10 predictions. Right back here next Tuesday. Here on Tuesday next week for week 10. Hopefully everyone enjoys week 9 and enjoy the weekend coming up. A lot of seven good matchups this week. I picked road teams and home teams. 4 of the road teams and 3 road teams. Hope you all enjoyed the week, and I'll see you next week with our week 10 NFL prediction videos. That being said, have a nice day, stay safe, and peace out, everyone. Bye for now. Goodbye.